Cool. We live?
Live video
Okay.
starting.
There you go. Hey everybody, it's Bridget here.
And Jonathan.
Yeah. Welcome to our second week of the soul healing journey. So if you haven't already, be sure to watch the previous week of the soul healing journey. Last week we talked about deep dive into your deepest true desire. And if you follow along this journey, you'll notice that I sort of have a pattern going on here is to realize what you truly want, who you truly are, and then bring up all those bullshit programming that's buried deep within ourselves and go through the process of loving it and listening to it and heal it. Okay. And then you go through the process of remembering what a badass you are and allow you, the infinite divine being that you are, to co-create with the universe of what you truly want into your reality. So that's sort of the pattern. And so if you can, definitely go back and watch the week one if you haven't already. And this week we're going to be talking about facing your butts, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper. So if you feel called to get your own copy, I'm going to post a link in the comment section where you can get your own copy if you like. If not, be sure to get a blank journal and follow
Copy of the
along.
journal, she
Oh,
means.
copy of the journal. Yes, sorry. You can get a copy to follow along as we continue on this journey. We're going to go live every week, once every week. And if not, it's totally cool. Get your own blank journal. Make sure you have enough space and time for you to really reflect on these questions. Okay, cool. So last week we talked about your deepest and truest desires. And I would love to know what were some of your realizations. And as you continue to realize what you want, if you sit still enough and really be honest with yourself and listen, you will notice that you also have the parts of you that says, yeah, that sounds great, but yeah, that life sounds amazing, but yeah, of course I want it, but there's a lot of buts. And some people either kind of let the butt take over and go, all right, you know what, maybe I should just wait. Yeah, I don't have the degree, I don't have the certification, I don't have the money. So I gotta do this, and that in order before I can ever, make that reality come true or make that dream come true. So some people, 80% of the people that I know allow their own butts, their limitation to prevent themselves from moving forward. Once they hear the but, they basically just shut their dreams down. For instance, I know people who hate their job. They absolutely do not enjoy what they're doing at their job. Their soul is calling them to leave, to go somewhere else, look for something else. And then they will take the action and start looking for a job and then go, but I don't have the certification. Those people are looking for this kind of degree, blah, 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 blah. And eventually just go, you know what? Forget it. I'll just stay where I am. It's the easiest. I know I've been working here for years. I know I'm familiar with it. I know exactly how it is, even though I don't like it. And so they let the buts prevent them. So that's one type of people that I know of. The other type of people are hustlers. They don't even look at the butts. Yeah, even if the butt comes out, they go, no, 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 let's be positive. Let's go. What else can I do? Let's go, let's go, let's go. If that works for you, great. But from my own experience of when the butts show up, they're showing up for a reason. The butts are showing up not to prevent you from moving forward, but the butts are showing up so you can look at it and heal those self-doubts and fears that you have about achieving your dreams. For some people who are a hustler and want to just be positive thinker, instead of facing their butts and fears, they cover it up with actions. They cover it up with a lot of busy works. There's nothing wrong with it. And something it works for some people. They just keep hustling forward and eventually they will get to their destination. For sure. But I'm always very curious. How do they feel when they're at their destination? Are they happy? Are they peaceful? Are they content? Are they joyous when they actually have that dream being manifested? Or are they go, okay, I got it. Now what's next? Let me look for the next thing. Let me then manifest the next. Let me go for the next thing. I mean, it's your life and it's your choice. Whatever works for you works for you. Okay. But if you're open to go, okay, I don't really want to let the but to prevent me from going for what I want. And I may be the hustler, but I'm open to a different way of facing the buts. Then maybe this video could be helpful for you. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about why facing your butt is important. Kind of, I was thinking about why it's important to talk about this chapter earlier today. And I realized a lot of us are very, very intuitive beings and infinite divine beings that can create and make anything happen if we allow it. But a lot of us also are very logical beings that believe that in order to get to B, or no, in order to get to Z, we need to do A, B, C, D, all the way to Z before we can get to Z. But what if, what if the highest source of love, the powerful energy that is within you, and that is the universe, that's in the universe, is able to see way more than what your logical mind allows you to see? What if there are other ways to manifest what you truly want without having to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z? What if it can go from A maybe to M and then Z? What if? I'm just asking a question. I'm going to give you some of the examples that I've had in the past where it was beautiful divine synchronicities and the power of just focusing on what you want and let go of the buts. Okay. First example that I want to share was years ago. I was kind of being guided to having to go back to Taiwan. I was living in America for maybe good 16 years at the time. And things happened where my family in Taiwan called me and wanted me to go back to Taiwan, but there was a lot of childhood trauma that I was afraid to face before. And I never went back to Taiwan prior to that point. So living in America for 16 years and never been back to my own motherland because, I just didn't have the resources, just didn't think of going to. There was no need to. And also going back to Taiwan would bring up a lot of those traumatic experiences and feelings that I had and I didn't process through at the time. And so when a family member called in Taiwan and said my grandpa was in a coma and probably didn't have much time to live, my inner soul felt it was time to go back, but my logical mind was like, oh no, it's too much. No, I don't, no. Maybe I don't need to go back, But there were so many signs that happened. Eventually I go, all right, you know what? If you want me to go back, great. Just send me the money and I will go back. But in my mind, my logical mind, I was thinking, okay, currently, I don't think I have that much money to cover all the travel, all the stay and everything. No, I didn't even plan for it. No. So if you want to go back, bring me that extra money so I can go back. So I thought, in the logical mind would go, okay, you will have to work extra hours. You will have to blah, 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 blah in order to save up all these money to travel back, right? But no, literally 5 minutes after I had that thought, it was just a thought. I said, Uni, if you want me to go back to Taiwan, because I really didn't want to. And it was really time for me to go back to face whatever I needed to face. Bring me the money. Literally 5 minutes later, I didn't even tell Jonathan what I was thinking, what I told the universe. 5 minutes later, Jonathan came out of at his office and said, "That was weird. Somebody," because he was doing real estate at that time, and he said, "Somebody from real estate just called me and say, hey, can I give you a check? I received a check a bit, but I didn't want to go through whatever processing fee or taxes or whatever. Can I just give you the check and you write a certain amount of check to me, and you keep a few $1,000s to yourself?" And the amount of money that was for it was like the guy said that we could keep was literally enough to cover the whole entire trip. That was just one incident of how going from A to Z instead of going A, B, C, D, blah, blah to Z. Okay, that's one incident. Another incident when I bought a car, my first car, a long time ago. Everyone, during that time, I didn't have credit. And everyone around me, and I had a budget. Everyone around me was like, this budget for the car you want? No way. And you don't have a credit? No way. Everyone around me said, you're too naive to even think this way. I continue to see how the vibration of the car that I wanted, I kept focusing on what is it that I wanted. It wasn't easy at the time because there was a lot of doubt. There was a lot of like, what if it doesn't work? A lot of stress. I need this car right now. And what if? But I continued to held the vibration anyways, regardless how many people told me it was impossible. And randomly, or not randomly, one day a friend of ours at that time started dating a new girlfriend. And he told me that this girlfriend that he had works at at the headquarter of this car company that I wanted. And she was able to give me a family discount on whichever car that I choose to purchase. And I would take that coupon code or whatever certificate or discount paper thing to the dealership and bought the car and gave them. I didn't even have to negotiate the price. They didn't even have to check my credit. They just go, "Oh my gosh, this is the best deal you could ever get." And I'm just saying, see, if I were to follow my logical mind of I need to have good credit in order to get the car that I want at the lowest interest rate that I can get, and the monthly or blah 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 blah, because I didn't have a down payment, nothing, but I was able to get the car that I want closest to the amount of the monthly price that I wanted to pay. So I'm just saying, there's infinite possibilities of how to get to your dream reality. It's not only the way that we think is the way.
So here, hold on, let me just interject here real quick. So just to kind of recap what Bridget's saying is the buts are the things that limit us, right? You can call them limiting beliefs or just whatever, right? But she could have simply said with the car, like, oh, I want a new car, but I don't have credit, but I don't have this,
Mm-hmm.
but, right? But instead, and you can just, okay, but I can't get it, right? Because I don't have the money or, right? Or credit. And she could have simply left it at that and not continued, right? But she still had a belief that, hey, you know what, I can get it. And we so happened to, yeah, find a friend that happened to work at it was Hyundai, the car dealership, and got like the best pricing on it, and it worked out actually perfectly. So kind of my take on this of the like just notice within yourself of like, hey, I want this, but blah blah blah. Like whose voice is that but? Right? A lot of times it's coming from external sources. It's friends and family, and they're doing it from good intentions. They want you, they want to be realistic, or they want you to be prepared, or they're just, it's sometimes it's just their own experiences that they're projecting onto you. So I think all that to say is letting go of the buts will allow you to experience and create the life that you truly want. There was a post I made, and I call it TFAL, right? TFAL, and it's and I learned this from T.R. Becker a long time ago, and he says that your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to results. Okay, and something that I've learned is end of the day, it's really the feeling. Like whatever you feel is gonna like right. There's action, and then there's inspired action, and it's your thoughts that can create certain feelings, right? And if we have the thought, oh, I want this, we kind of feel good. We feel like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna get it. But then once we get to the but this, then our feeling, oh, but I don't have that. Oh, I forgot I'm single. I can't go on a date. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like whatever those buts are, then we go, yeah, I want this, but no. And then right? And guess, usually people kind of just stay in this lower vibration of, but I can't get it. And when we're there, we don't take any action. Versus, oh, I want to, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but I believe I can if I'm just going to focus on what I want, which is what Bridget did with her car. She literally had like the picture of the car and the interior, and she visualized it and felt it and driving it. That from that feeling, it's like, oh, I don't know how, I don't have the money, I don't have the credit, but I still want this, and just right. So that's really why we want to talk about facing your butts today, or at least just being aware of them. Because a lot of those times the but, where did that but come from? Is it your voice? Is it somebody said something? And I believe that, yeah, I do believe that once you're able to let go of those limits, then anything is possible.
Yeah. And this can be applied to anything, even relationship. I want a healthy, loving relationship, but it's so hard. It's so hard to find the man of your dreams. Inside of this is so hard. There's so much more than this is so hard. When we're going to dive deeper, it could be, do you feel safe to even be in a relationship? If there's a part of you that believe, hey, it's easier to be single, guess what? That's exactly where you're going to create. Even though logically you don't want it. Right? So reflecting on the questions we're about to share with you is to at least be aware, oh my gosh, that's what I've been feeling. Oh wow, that's the underlying fear behind my butts. Because a lot of those fears, even though we call it fears, but somehow they're keeping us safe. And we'll dive deeper into that to let you know. Okay, so my quote here on the second chapter is, to have or not to have, it all depends on you. In other words, you can literally have anything that you want in your life, but do you allow yourself? Okay, so question number 1 of chapter 2, face your butts. Okay, get a pen and paper ready. What are some of the fears you have about going for what you want? In other words, what are the I want this buts? So this question is mainly just listing down, okay, I want to be a life coach, but I don't think I'm good enough. But what if other people don't want to listen to me? Or, oh, I don't have the resources. I don't have the money to invest in it to create a business. Or I want a loving relationship, but it has always been so hard. Or whatever. I want a new job, but I don't have the degree. Oh, I want my friends, I want my kids to listen to me, but they will never listen. Whatever it is, it's all the mentalities that you've been having. Write all these down. At least you're aware, okay, these are my buts. These are what I believe my current reality is. Like up to this point of my life, this is what I've been believing. I want this butt. I want this butt. And that, if you tell yourself the same story long enough and often enough, eventually a part of you is going to be believing that. Believe that that bullshit is true. But it's not true. What if it's not true? Okay. All right. So that is first question. And whenever you're ready, the second question is, when you think about these buts, what emotion do you feel? Anger, fear, sadness, or joy? And where do you feel them in your body? The reason why I want to ask this question is, most of the time, these buts came from a source. came from an incident, came from an experience, came from a trauma, came from somebody making you feel you're not good enough. And so when you want to go look for something, go create something that you truly want, that not enough, the feeling of not enough will show up in various of different ways. And I want you to pay attention to how you feel in your body when you think about these buts. Because if our mind can trick, it can trick us. Our body will always tell the truth. Our body cannot lie to us. If you have any sensation, if you have any like tightness, that is a sign that there's some kind of emotions there, whether it be anger, whether it be fear, or even shame. And I want you to just bring awareness to them. Okay. So the question here, when you think about these buts, what emotions do you feel? Anger, fear, sadness, or joy. These are the core emotions, or maybe sometimes they're shame. And where do you feel them in the body? Just pay attention. Okay, when I think about these buds, my stomach tightens up. That's your sensation right now, right there. Or maybe my throat feels clogged, or maybe my neck is a little stiff. All these are little signs that that's where you store these energies and these fears or these lies about yourself, lies about you're not good enough, lies about, oh, you need to have certain degrees in order to blah, 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 blah. Okay? Okay. Third question for you to reflect on. I want you to tune into that feeling in your body. And if it had a voice, what does it want to tell you? This is probably going to be quite uncomfortable for some people because this actually requires you to listen to yourself.
By the way, this is like a very powerful process of actually listening to yourself and releasing and healing those past hurts, wounds, traumas, trapped emotions, trapped energies, and yeah, just putting it out there. Like we're putting it into like, oh yeah, these are just questions, but no, this is a process that can change your life if you allow it to. So yeah.
And I'll share why listening to it is important. If anyone's ever experienced a toddler, we have a toddler, so that's the best example that I can think of right now. If anyone's ever experienced a toddler, you will know that they will never give up. Okay, when they need your attention, they will keep going, mommy, 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 or daddy, 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 until you sit down and go, okay, I'm here, honey, what's going on? Okay, why did I grab that example? Because your fears, anger, sadness, shame,
Emotions.
all of your emotions are like toddlers, where they're constantly trying to get your attention whenever they can. Okay? And how they show up would be, oh, I want to get a new job, but that's your toddler trying to get your attention. That's your emotional toddler trying to get your attention, telling you, hey, I'm not feeling good enough here, so please come and talk to me so we can talk this out, or else I'm gonna forever feel like shit and feel like I'm not good enough for this, or I'll always feel like I'm not worthy for something better.
It's usually more just listened to, okay?
Exactly.
There are little toddlers within you that want to be listened to because when you were younger, your parents didn't listen to you, you had nobody to go to, you didn't know how to process it, you didn't know how to listen to yourself and support yourself at that time. And they're wanting to get your attention to hear them out, to let them know that, hey, it's okay, you're perfect just as you are good enough. That's what they wanted to hear back then, and they never had that chance. So listening to your body, listening to the emotional pain or the buts or the restrictions or the limitations that doesn't feel good in your body allows you to just let that part of you that never got to express or communicate or share, it allows that part of you to just let it out. Kind of like taking I always call it like taking an emotional dump, right? When you poop, like imagine if you have to poop, you're not gonna just, you're gonna hold it in for how long, right? Because you know it's got to come out sometime. But with emotions and energy, we tend to hold that for, we're able to hold it for years and years and years, and then it manifests and turns into disease, illnesses, etc., etc.
Hmm.
So yeah, just going off of why it's so important to listen to yourself. It's really just because there's a part of you that wants to express.
So I'll give you an example. Let's say a simple daily example. It doesn't have to be something big where I have to create a business. So let's say there's a part of you that really just wants to rest and take a break because you've been hustling for a long time or been doing things for a long time. And really internally, you really just want to take a break, but you have a but. Oh, but I got so much things to do. Oh, but I shouldn't be taking a break because if I take too much break, then it will be too much to overwhelm. And when that overwhelm comes up, I want you to notice, where do you feel that overwhelm in your body? Is it your gut? Is it your shoulder? Is it your head? And once you notice where it is in your body, and I want you to just put all your attention and focus onto it and listen. Ask, what happened? Why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? What would you like to tell me? How come you're feeling overwhelmed? What's causing you to feel overwhelmed? What do you think will happen if you take a break? Okay? Listen. Interview yourself. Interview this feeling. Because this part of you where you have to do things, you're not allowing yourself to take a break. It's coming from a place of fear. And where did that fear come from? It's a fear of, I don't do this now. Maybe I'm not a good enough mother. I'm not good enough daughter. I'm not a good enough wife. Or I'm not a good enough business owner. I have to do all of this now, or else I won't have time. If I don't have time, then I'm gonna have too much to do and I have to do too much to do. I don't feel like I can do it. So when in your life, in the past, when there was so much chaos going on, or overwhelm going on, that you didn't know how to process or handle it, and that you told yourself you have to do all the other things in order to be better and feel better, just to cover that feeling of overwhelm that you didn't know how to process. We think time heals everything. It doesn't. Not until you face it, not until you listen to it, not until you listen to it with love, not until you understand it and feel it through. And this whole process is to guide you and take you to listen bigger, listen deeper, listen to you, the parts of you that's trying to get your attention for many, many, many years. Because here's the thing, once you listen, just like toddler, once you listen, they stop. Mommy, 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 daddy, 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 daddy. They will stop because they got your attention. Okay. And you no longer will have to be bombarded with all the buts every time you're trying to go for what you want. That's the whole point. Because until you face it, that butt is always going to be in the back of your mind, whether you know it or not. You just either choose to cover it up or let it affect you or you don't move forward. Okay? So that was what? Third question? Okay. My fourth question. Okay. After listening to what it's trying to tell you, just to make sure, this is the fourth. Anything else that it wants to say to you? Is there anything else? Just to make sure, because sometimes the surface level will have to come up in order for a deeper level, for the deeper truth to come up, maybe the deeper fear for it to come out. Okay. And if the but or this emotion has a need that needs to be fulfilled, what would it be? How would you like to help fulfill that need? Let me explain what that means. So let's take the example of I need to always do things, or I need to do this, do that, or else I will feel like not a good enough mother. Why do you feel like you're not good enough? Why do you feel like you have to do all these things in order to feel good enough? What part of you feels like you're not good enough? And that part of you that's feeling not good enough, what does it need? Ask that voice. If I don't do this, then I'm not a good enough mother. If I don't do this, I'm not good enough wife. I'm not fulfilling the role that I'm supposed to be doing. Because being as a mother, you're supposed to blah, 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 right? Or being an entrepreneur, you're supposed to blah, 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 blah. Being a successful person, you're supposed to blah, 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 blah. We're putting all these rules. But behind that, the feeling of not good enough, what is the need that is seeking? Is it a need of, I want to be heard? Is it a need of, I did something amazing and incredible as a child in the past. I tried to show my family love, but it was rejected. And I just want to be understood. I just want to be known. I just want to be seen. I just want to be hugged. I just want to be forgiven. Ultimately, it comes down to, I just want to be loved. I just want to know that I'm okay. I just want to know that no matter what I do, I will be okay and I'm loved and I won't be abandoned. Someone is there for me. There is a need within this insecurity. There's a need of this fear of, if I don't do this now, I might miss out. If I don't finish this now, then I will never do it. Whatever that fear may be, whatever that anger may be, whatever that sadness may be, it's seeking for some kind of love and attention. And what does that love and attention look like to that part of you? Sometimes that love and attention is literally, hey, there's a little inner child of me. I just want my daddy to play with me. I just want my mommy to hug me. I just want someone to tell me that I'm proud of you. There is a need behind the fear. There's a little girl or a little boy that is seeking for love. And this is the whole practice of you listening deeper. Here's an invitation for you. Whenever there's a self-doubt that comes up, whenever there's a judgment that comes up, especially about yourself, notice that behind this self-doubt, behind this fear, behind this anger, behind this judgment that you have about yourself is a little child that is scared, is a little child that needs to be loved. And it's just showing up as anger. It's just showing up as fear. It's showing up as lack. And it just needs you to listen deeper to see him or her and give him or her the love that he or she was looking for but didn't receive it. That's what this whole process is about. Is from the but to find that little boy or that little girl that is scared, that is sad, that is needing love, needing attention, and give that love to him or her so that it no longer needs to be keep showing up as a but, keep showing up as fear, keep showing up you're not good enough, keep showing up that you can't do it. No. That you're not good enough, you can't do it, all comes from this little child who believe all that bull crap. And this whole exercise can help you listen with compassion and love with an open heart if you allow it. Okay? Okay, now the final question of the week. Once you find that little boy or little girl and you sort of fulfill the need, I want you to ask that part of you, how would this part of you like to be or felt loved moving forward? So maybe as a child that you felt, teachers, parents, or friends said certain things, made you feel like you don't belong, you're not good enough. And now that you have found this little boy or little girl and give him or her the love that you're looking for, now it's received the love and attention that it's been seeking. But moving forward, how would that part of you like to be loved and accepted? Okay? So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm not saying that once you do these exercise, fears will no longer be there. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes it will still show up at different stages of your life. When you are moving to the next level, you're expanding, you're trying something new. When you're trying something new, some sort of fear will just always show up. When they do show up, how would they like to be loved and accepted? And I want you to ask your fear or little child and go, okay, I see you. I know you're here now. And I know there are going to be times in my life where I'm going to feel scared, when I'm going to feel like I'm doubting myself. But we're going to establish a relationship. I want to understand you better. How would you like to be loved? What can I do for you that make you feel loved so we can move forward together instead of hindering or, allow ourselves to be hindered by these fears and doubt? Okay? So once you know, when my fears show up, I can do these things to let myself know I'm okay and I love you and I accept you. I'm here listening to you. You have to establish that relationship with yourself. And that's how you love yourself the way you want to be loved. Okay? I hope that helps. And that's it for week 2 of facing your butts. And again, if you haven't already, go back and watch week 1. I will post the comment and I will post the link in the comment section. And if you want to purchase your own copy of the Soul Healing Journal, I'll also post the link there. And feel free to just share with us what you found, what you realize. We love to really hear from you and know how this has helped you. Okay? Cool.
Cool. Thanks. See you next week.
Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.